The program is a presentation of the weekly credit report. Now, the president of United Credit Consultants, a certified FICO professional and a national credit restoration expert, your host, Joe McGlynn.
Good morning, everyone. You're listening to the weekly credit report, your weekly source of credit topics and education. I'm your host, Joe McGlynn, president of United Credit Consultants, Minnesota's largest, most referred credit repair and credit restoration firm. This morning, we are live in studio, Twin Cities News Talk, AM 1130. Taking your calls. We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear your story. Give us a call. Our live line here this morning is 651-989-5855, 651-989-5855. If you're listening this morning by streaming through your smartphone or iHeartRadio, internet, we welcome you as well. Find us on Twitter or Facebook. Become a fan. You'll get special offers, events, updates, seminar updates, special codes, special promos for our services, education, all that good stuff. So we welcome everyone listening in this morning. In studio this morning, I have one of my senior advisors, Ryan Boyd with United Credit Consultants, and I want to let everyone know that Jared was more than excited to be on this morning, but his little daughter is under the weather a little bit. So Jared is not with us here today. I know he was pretty bummed about that just because he loves jumping on the show and, giving his 2 cents and helping people and educating people at the same time here. So unfortunately, he's not there, but I got Ryan here. We're going to talk a lot about, FICO and Vantage today. So that's what we're going to be going through. The show topic this morning is FICO and Vantage, the credit scoring systems, understanding the FICO scoring system, understanding the Vantage scoring system, really understanding what are those two, what's the detail within them. And what we're going to do is then we're going to take that information, then we're going to discuss and break down what steps are crucial in cleaning and repairing your profile and scores based on these scoring systems. So what we're going to do today is go through the breakdown of where I've sat with many clients and many people, and they talk about, almost that the scoring system it's a secret. It's almost like Vegas and their numbers. It's in a back room and no one knows the math and I know the formula. I do. It's out there. You just got to know what to weed out when you're looking through some things. So today there's no need to look into anything anymore. I'm going to go through it, grab a pen and paper. We're going to talk about that stuff today. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Vantage scoring system too, which is the scoring system that's online. So understanding that there's 2 different formulas, there's multiple different mathematical algorithms that are within the formulas to break down your specific profile. So we're going to talk today about the specific FICO scoring system and model that's used to equate risk, and we're going to break down what needs to be done based on your credit and what can be done based on your credit to take you in the right step, in the right direction here. Knowing it's spring, what's the date today? That we're
23rd.
23rd. We're the 4th weekend of March here already. I know that Parade of Homes is already done, I believe, or it's it's already started for a few weeks now.
Yep.
And it just doesn't feel like spring. So I think what's going to happen to me, this is what my opinion is that spring hasn't started for people, even though it has. I mean, it's been, 4 degrees yesterday when I was driving into work. So as soon as it hits, I feel like it's almost going to hit more than normal because so many people are going to rush to look at homes. No one wants to go and shop for homes when it's, 18 degrees out and there's, snow all over. So being that it's spring, it's getting closer to spring, I should say, to a point when it comes to the weather at least, or getting closer temperature-wise. Understanding what needs to be done here on your credit and your situation to get you in a position based on the formula. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it, Ryan. Obviously, like I said, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here as always.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. Good morning, everyone.
And like I said earlier, you can always jump on Facebook and find us there. We have a ton of fans and, Twitter, and follow us on Twitter and all that fun stuff too. Let's look at this here. So going through the FICO formula and the Vantage score formula, I'd like to start out with Ryan, just going through the understanding of the difference of the two. Not so much the detail within them yet, but just understanding that there's 2 different formulas. And what I mean by that is if you went online, anyone listening in, most people have gone online at some point in their life and has gone to that freecreditreport.com, free credit score. That you hear the cheesy commercials with the guys playing the guitar and they're playing, they have the song playing. That's an online scoring system. That's an online credit monitoring system that you pay monthly, or it's a $1 charge, or it's free for the first 7 days. Or you can even go to annualcreditreport.com, which is free, which is your right, but you don't get your score. Just know the scoring formula and the math behind those systems is commonly known as the consumer score or the Vantage score. Okay? The Vantage score is different, and the formula within the Vantage score is different than what people know as the lender score or the FICO formula or FICO score. FICO score and the FICO system and everything that's to do with FICO is created solely for one purpose. It was used, and it is used today, for risk assessment on people trying to obtain money, really, from a lender, from a credit card, from auto loan to a mortgage. Really, when a bank is using you or using the system, they're going to use the FICO algorithm, not the Vantage score algorithm. Understanding those two things is huge, because I have so many people, I have so many auto loans, car dealerships that we're connected with at United Credit Consultants, and mortgage advisors and loan officers that I've sat with over the years, and I know my advisors here have sat with over the years, that they don't know the common difference between the Vantage and FICO scoring system.
That's exactly right, Joe. And this is why I was really excited about, when I found out what the topic was going to be for today, is because every single day I sit with people that are just coming from, getting turned down or declined for an auto loan, or they just met with a loan officer, and the loan officer is saying, hey, this is where we need to get you to in order to qualify for home loan. Well, they come in and we look at the soft pull, we look at the Vantage scores, and all of a sudden they're already a little higher, and they didn't even do anything. And I said, well, this is why. We're not so, the scores are different, but what we're concerned with is your actual profile. That's what we address. That's what we're going to educate you on, based off of the FICO formula and based off of what's the actual equation to get more, or to get approved for that house or that auto loan. And that's what we work off of. Doesn't matter which scoring system we're using, the profiles are the same, and that's what we're going to improve, and that's what we're going to educate you on, based off of getting you to those FICO scores and getting you to your goals.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's just that common misunderstanding. What confuses people, I believe, when you sit with a loan officer or you sit with an auto dealership and you go in there because 2 days ago or a week ago or a month ago you went online and checked your score and it said 722, and then you go into the auto dealership, you go into the bank, and you get your credit pulled, and now you're at a 644. You have a lot of questions running through your head. How did my score drop so much? Why is it so different?
How is that even possible?
Is the bank trying to pull a wool over my eyes? Are they trying to give me a lower score so they can get better interest? And everyone's out to get me. And people start to get that conspiracy theory thought. No, it's what it is. It's just they're weighing your formula and your profile differently, because you're asking for a certain thing right now where you weren't asking, or you were asking for something different then. I mean, all these systems and all these mathematical formulas and algorithms and the FICO score and your credit, remember, all this stuff is owned privately. They're independently owned and operated. So it's not about what your rights are to a point, or what you deem, that can't be right or wrong. It is the way it is. Every system's different. And you got to take it for what it is. So you got to know and understand that it's a lot like eating right and working out. Any scale you step on, regardless of how it reads, it's going to read correctly because you're doing the right things. And what Ryan was getting at is the heartbeat of your credit is not so much the score, it's your profile. It's understanding that whatever you do to your profile is really going to affect the Vantage score, the FICO score differently, but still it's going to positively impact. And that's where we're going to talk here in a little bit about just the breakdown of those things. And know this, if you want to check your credit score out, really simple, go to our website, UnitedCreditConsultants.com, UnitedCreditConsultants.com. Right below the Glenn Beck piece, we're endorsed by Glenn Beck. Right below the picture of Glenn on the home page is going to be credit monitoring sign up. There's a little blue button, little blue tab. You click on that, you're able to log in. I think it's $1 for the first month, $1 for the first 10 days or something. Really simple. Check your score out. I think, to me, that's the first piece in just knowledge of our clients or anybody out there is, look, understand what's reporting. I mean, it's important. Don't turn your back on it. And check it out.
And like Joe was saying, you get to check your scores on that. But that is, like he's been telling you, that is a Vantage score. But more importantly, check out your profile. You're going to get a perfect idea of what is actually showing up and what is getting reported to the bureaus at this moment of time, and that's the most important thing.
Sometimes what's not reporting, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I just sat with someone last week that they just opened up a new car loan about 3 months ago, not reporting to any of the bureaus because they got it through their credit union.
Yeah, and go ahead.
So yeah, I was going to say that's a perfect example of something that should be positively impacting, should be on their credit score and their formula, or affecting their score, but on their profile, and it's not.
Yeah, and if you have a question about your credit, you want to talk about the FICO system, you want to talk about Vantage, you want to talk about your situation, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Our hotline this morning here at the office, in the studio, 651-989-5855. That's 651-989-5855. That's the studio number. If you want to talk to one of our advisors, actually, a little bit more intimate, you don't want to talk over the air, you want to talk about your credit, your situation, or you want to just go through, hey, what is on my report? Obviously, you understand, and if you've ever listened to the show, you know that our consultations are 100% free, no risk. Give us a ring. We're in Burnsville. We're in the Twin Cities area. We have advisors in-house right now. I know that for sure. Our number, I should say, is 800-455-4100. United Credit Consultants, 800-455-4100. That's our number. Directly if you want to talk to an advisor this morning and go through some things there.
If you call that number, Joe and I will both be back in the office after the show today. We would love to talk to you, love to answer any of your questions or help you get.
Yeah, and if you're listening in right now and you got some questions and you don't want to go through too much stuff over the air, we got people in-house right now even. So reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Love to connect. You can go to our website either. UnitedCreditConsultants.com and click on the Contact Us page and fill out that form too, and we'll reach out to you. So there's multiple ways to reach out and talk to me, talk to Ryan, talk to any of my advisors. We're very, very busy. We're working 6-7 days a week right now. It's the busy season. It is absolutely crazy right now in our office, and everybody's running around like chickens with a head cut off because it's just the process and the knowledge is what's made us so successful. It's stuff like this. It's going on. The air, sitting in front of a client and not talking about how great we are in sales. It's about understanding the system. It's knowing. Knowledge is power, I feel. The better I'm able to educate you personally and the better I'm able to give you information specific to your file and your situation, the better you're going to retain it. The better you're going to be at being proactive and not reactive. You're going to understand why Ryan's telling you this stuff, because every time Ryan talks, I've trained him in a way that he will explain why he's saying those things right afterwards. He doesn't just give you blind faith. He'll tell you, don't do this. And he'll say, the reason is because of this, this, and this. And it will make sense then. For instance, when you look at the FICO formula, obviously when you hear about collections, the big bad collections, you hear about judgments, you hear about charge-offs, everybody knows somebody that has some issues. Everybody has had maybe one or two in the past. I mean, it's rare that I've ever ran into anyone that has not had at least one collection, not because they don't feel like paying it, because they moved. It could be because the Comcast bill is in your name when you're in college and you and your buddies moved out and you guys went down the street and you totally forgot and you got a $233 Comcast bill or something.
I have a great one, Joe. Just yesterday I sat with a young lady who has a $16 charge from Dish Network.
Yeah.
Because she was supposed to return the equipment. They charged her for the box that they sent her, even though her bill and everything was closed out. That she didn't even know about it until we pulled her credit. She sat up there and she's like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what that is. I had no clue.
Yeah, and it's going through it. I mean, I've seen $2 medical debts before. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So just going through this, a collection, for instance, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take specific accounts because it's going to be able to be more relatable for people and explain to them based on an account, how does it affect the score? So I'm going to break it down real quick for you guys. The FICO scoring system goes like this. The range, in other words, the scoring range goes like this. It goes anywhere between 300 is your lowest to 850 is the highest. Okay, so you got a 300 to 850 scoring scale. All right, so obviously the higher your score, the less likely you are of defaulting on any given account, and the bank feels more comfortable with you, thus dropping your interest rate or keeping a lower interest rate because you're not such a high of a risk. The lower your score is, the more of a risk, and the higher your interest rate, okay? Now, the biggest part of your FICO scoring system is 35%. That is your payment history. All right, that is the largest piece of the pie. That's how I like to explain it.
And that makes sense.
And understand that 35% of it is payment history. So it's mainly based on your current trade lines, but it is overall history. That's why it's called history. It's are you paying your bills on time? Are you paying it within 30-day grace period or not? And that's very simple because, again, if you're pulling your FICO credit report and FICO credit score, that means you're trying to obtain credit. You're trying to add more. You're trying to get more of what you have. And that is